Hello?
What's up, girl? What happened after Tony dumped you?
Girl, I'm over it. I went from heartbreak to hate.
Cynthia!
Fuck Cynthia.
No, Cynthia, if you're really out there, he doesn't mean it. He takes it back.
Cynthia is a code word for us. We have a
Obviously,
code.
yeah.
And so we use it. We talked about it on another episode, so we won't go into it again. Did we
No,
talk about it with Sven?
Go find that episode.
We talked about it with Sven.
Did we talk about it with Sven? Sure.
Yeah,
Whatever.
I think so. Yeah, because Cynthia, told him. Anyway.
Find the secret episode with Sven, kids.
That was the longest milliseconds before. Oi, Joy.
Hi, Bob.
Hello. You're supposed to say something else.
No,
like
I was just being weird because we're going to talk about weird things.
We're talking about weird things. We're weirdos.
So
Queerdo for me. I'm a queerdo. You're a weirdo.
I am a weirdo.
Would it be a beardo? A black weirdo?
I could be a beardo. It works. It works.
Let's just say that though.
Okay, I'm a weirdo.
When you see an actual like weird black person.
Uh-huh.
Like I think of white people who are weird and weirdoed and blah blah blah. But like when you actually see it's not a common thing.
I think it's not a common thing for you.
No, it's not a common thing for me, but
you know, it's kind of like, okay, so this is exactly what it's like. You get, let's say, a yellow car. And before you get that car, you don't ever see yellow cars. Then you see all the yellow.
Truth.
So if you're a black weirdo, you see all the
yeah,
you're like, there's my people.
Oh.
I see you.
I gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay. So weird things is what we're talking about today. Weird things on the internet you can buy, weird stories on the internet, and we're staying positive and weird this episode.
We are. We needed something lighthearted. I said I cannot.
We can't just do this world
dark
anymore.
Shit. No, yes, I just quit.
Weird Wild World. That's today.
Look at you. www.
www.
Yeah. You did a thing.
Dot. So, do you have something weird that you'd like to talk about?
I do have something weird I'd like to talk about. I'd like to talk about the Canadian man that receives a package 8 years after he ordered it. I mean, of course you know where my mind goes to start. I'm like, you're on a site.
Yeah.
You're searching.
Yeah.
You're looking through dildos, vibrators.
Yep.
You find yourself the perfect sex kit.
It's got the largest insertable thing on the site.
I mean, it's got multiple tools, right? You went for the big shabam.
Like the Swiss Army box of dildos and clamps.
Like the subscription box, but not subscription. But like, yeah.
Yeah, cause I don't know. Should we ask them to sponsor our podcast? I think they would be a good sponsor. If the Adam and Eve company would like to sponsor our podcast.
We do love you.
Please,
I'm already.
She was getting ready to describe the whole process. Because some of these people out there are like, what box is she talking about? And it's like, see, when you buy a dildo on Adam and Eve, you actually get like a free gift. You spend $25, you get gifts.
Multiple gifts. They're givers over there.
And
so
they're surprises. They're like surprises.
So, I'm just imagining, click on the little site, find the things you want, and you're like, ooh, extra shit's coming. That's awesome.
Yay.
You're all excited. You just got into a new relationship. You're excited, but you want to keep it spiced up. Keep it right. Mm-hmm. And it shows up 8 years later. What the fuck? Who knows what could have happened by then? Well, 8 years is
a long time. So here was my thought on it.
I wanted you to give it.
The person he was in a relationship and he bought the dildos for, they broke up. Okay. Then they met somebody new. Uh-huh. They fell in love quickly. I mean, not even quickly. Give it a couple years. They get engaged. They get married. They have kids. They have 2 kids back to back. Jenny and Johnny. So Jenny and Johnny, it's a few years later. They're like 6 and 7 years old. And old enough to answer the door for the Amazon person. Because they know Tim, who's the Amazon person. They're excited. So they're going to open this box. And they're going to find all these new toys. That mommy or daddy, or mommy or daddy bought 8 years ago.
Uh-huh.
Your life's different. You actually...
You're like a whole new person.
So yeah, a whole new person. So in 7 years, your body replenishes all its skin cells or whatever. We're trying to talk scientifically, but you're also can in that time develop new allergies because you can gain or lose allergies every 7 years.
Right.
I mean, who knew? And so there's all kinds of things. Your taste buds change within 7 years. You know, you might have gained some weight, so your dick size has changed. Lots of things have changed
This package shows
in the past
up.
8 years.
Mm-hmm. And then imagine you're not happy with it anymore. You're like,
What?
I need a refund.
Yeah, I mean, what if some of those things will just fall out once you put them in there? I mean, there's lots of stuff that gets stretched out and never used again in that timeline. Remember when I ordered records and I thought they got stolen and it was like
Right.
6 months later?
Just magically
They
appeared.
just magically appeared, and it was like it had said it had been delivered to my house like for months, and I was just freaked out every single week and searched for it and all that shit.
You know my theory on that. That was like some kid that took a job delivering. I'm not going to call out any service, whatever service it would have been through. I imagine a kid who didn't really want to work, but he needed to get his weed money. You know what I mean? So he's not dedicated to his job.
Oh.
So he was just going to say, oh, yeah, I delivered that shit. Uh-huh.
See, I understand that kid. So this is what happened. I used to deliver newspapers multiple times. I did it multiple times as a teenager, young, like a preteen, teenager, even as an adult. I did it for fun. I would never deliver that free Thursday or Wednesday newspaper that came out. It was too much extra work for me. So I hid months of those behind some bushes at my house.
Wow.
Laziness.
You're right.
The extremes.
The extremes. So
yeah, that's a
Yeah.
long time though.
that's a crazy story. What about you? Do you have anything weird you want to tell me about?
I did, and then I lost it. It was something very. Oh, it was the finger covers for eating cheesy food.
Which I was like, oh my god.
So it's these little plastic slip-on things that clip to your fingers, so that when you're eating Cheetos, you don't get cheese on your fingers.
But, which I'm going to say, just now as we're sitting here, I would like to counter and say that that's already been invented. You just have to repurpose it. You know those little finger condoms that you use for counting money? Like,
Yeah.
let's say you are flipping through money all the time. Why wouldn't you just get yourself 2 of them? Hello.
I'm gonna up you on that into the going back into invention city. Gloves.
No, I mean, we're thinking something that's not fully practical.
I know, but it's just like, yeah, I know, but would you want those rubber nubby things against your tongue? That would be like a weird texture sensation.
Well, you don't put your finger in your mouth when you're doing some different shit. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know.
We'll
to me,
discuss that
it's
on our
for
next
more than just
episode.
Cheetos, but if you're going to use those for your Cheetos, you're cheating. You're cheating yourself out of licking your cheesy finger, right? Or trying to get that cheese residue
cheese
off.
crumbles.
like it's
like it's glue paste.
It's basically glue. It's basically like that is equivalent to
Trying to get
getting
it off in
super
one
glue on your
cheese.
skin, and you have to sit and like rub it off for minutes and minutes and minutes. The cheese company, Cheetos, if you'd like to sponsor our podcast. Frito-Lay, do you own Cheetos? I don't know. Get at us. You're only a couple miles from here.
I would love to be sponsored specifically by the cheese balls.
Cheese balls?
Cheese balls.
Ooh. Oh, you mean like the little balls?
Yeah. From my childhood that they brought them back.
Yes, because
It's
you
the-
can't have just the cheese
This
puffs.
is horrible. I should know. It's the peanut guy that does them. I think.
Planters?
Yes, I think Planters owns that brand.
Oh, you mean those cheese balls? The ones in the blue cans?
Yes.
See, I mean, you could buy cheese balls in a giant bag.
No. You got to get the originals.
She's talking, for those that don't know, American Legion food. She's talking, those are things grandmas used to carry in their big ass purses. Planters, yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, no. Moving on.
So that was my thing. Cheeto fingers.
Cheeto fingers. Got it. All right. My next one was there is a lizard who with 80% of its body mass is feces.
Now, see, you
The
said
story
this.
says the story says a staggering 80%.
I mean, what kind of creature is this?
I don't even know. It goes much into like all this other random shit just basically to prove that they know things. But yeah, it's too much work to figure it out. I mean, I know that you're probably you said ew, and I know you're thinking, how could any living being be that full?
Don't give me statistics.
Oh shit. No, I was just gonna say this was gonna lead us down a path. When I read that, the first thing I thought was there was a time, this was years ago, but I was not feeling well and I was having like stomach issues and I didn't know what was going on, and I went to the doctor and I forgot what tests they ran, but all I remember was the doctor was saying, I wish I could remember the exact scientific terms that he used.
Or the
But he was like,
look on my
he's like, you're
face.
having, exactly. He's like, he was like, basically, there's a blockage of blah, 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 blah. And I looked at him and I said, are you trying to tell me that I'm full of shit? Which
joke.
Which takes me into my other thing, which is that doctors and nurses do not have a sense of humor. I think they're trained not to laugh at people, so that when you do crack a joke, they just stone face.
Or they've heard that before, and so
he could have led with that then.
Oh, I guess he could
have led with that.
You were gonna get you were giving me.
You're never on my side.
I wasn't that. I was just like that whole waiting for what was happening to you. I was just like on the edge of my seat, like I didn't want to hear what you were about to tell me. So I'm glad it was just that, a very common bowel blockage.
Yeah, it's a very common bowel blockage.
Okay. So
not that you were concerned about me.
I was concerned, but I know that you survived and that you don't have the same problems today, because we probably would have talked about it in the past 20 years at least once. So
all right, fine.
All right.
Your next thing.
So the next thing I had was something that I lost my shit when I read it, because it was from May 7th, and a woman got eaten by an alligator, killed by an alligator because alligators drowned her, like they do in South Carolina. So that sounds like something that would happen
It does.
in South Carolina. The thing that happened was this woman it says client. This woman was at her client's house.
Okay.
That's what it says. And then she's intoxicated, according to the people that saw it, and she sees an alligator, and she immediately wants to go pet this alligator.
As you do.
As you do. And then they said, hey, that alligator, just last week, it just snatched a deer directly out of the, killed a deer. Her reply is, I don't look like a deer. Continuing on her path. She then gets near the alligator. The alligator snatched her by her leg and pulled her into the water. This is the part that gets me. All the things you could do when an alligator's dragging you away.
Right.
And scream and say. This woman says, I guess I won't do this again. Like, what the fuck? Priceless.
You know what
Dead.
I mean? She just had a life goal, and her goal was, whenever I die, I'm going to do it in style. You know what I mean?
Yeah, making money on my client.
And I'm going to say something that lets people know that I'm sort of doing it on my own terms, I guess. I don't know what else,
I mean, I just don't know that, like, I don't think I would have words if I was being attacked by an alligator.
No, I think the only words would be, ah!
Like screaming, probably trying to kick it in its nose, like snout, not nose technically. I don't know. And that was just what was weird to me, because like very calmly, I guess I won't do that again.
Yeah. But I also have to know, how fucked up do you have to be to decide you need to go pet a fucking alligator?
I mean, originally when I told you the story, I said that it was in Florida, which we just said Florida.
Right.
But I'm sorry. Hey, sorry, Florida. But It's actually in South Carolina. Oh, her client's nails. So it was a nail tech doing a home delivery. Does that happen?
I think it does. Like, there's some of these ladies that do this crazy, like, expo art type shit that takes forever. You can't do that at a salon.
Oh, hi.
Hey.
I didn't know what I was going to say. I was trying to think of where this took place because I don't remember seeing what state. Oh, never mind. It's in Oregon.
Ooh.
So from South Carolina to Oregon, one coast to coast.
Taking a journey.
A diagonal journey, if you will. Anyway, so the Lucky Devil Lounge in Portland, Oregon, turned itself name-wise into Lucky Devil Eats.
Okay.
And then it offers food to go, where a driver comes up to get his takeout order and gets an in-car experience that includes performances, music, and lights under a canopy. So I don't understand why it's in-car. Oh, I guess you go... you drive into a canopy.
Okay, nice.
Ooh.
And the performance?
I mean, it just assume it's stripping. Yeah, it has an open kitchen.
This is an innovative way to stay open.
I didn't mention this is during the quarantine, right? But that's why it came up. The rest of the article is really just talking about the financial needs of people who work, which is true.
Right.
Strippers got to strip.
Listen, I mean, stay-at-home orders are ending in a lot of states. Here in the States, I'm not sure about other countries, but what else do you think that we haven't already turned into a drive-through service that we could? I mean, if you can make stripping into a drive-through experience,
yeah, I mean, it's not.
What more could we do?
And then, of course, in my head, I thought the stripper would just get in the car, but no, it was not. It was a touchless.
Right.
It was basically like driving up into a car wash and getting a strip.
Yeah.
I mean, I expected it more out of a different state. I didn't expect it to come from Oregon. Nothing's wrong with Oregon. Love you, but like, it just seems like something more inventive for another state. I don't know. I guess I didn't really strip clubs were that popular everywhere.
Yeah, I think everywhere they are, they're doing good business.
Even the Vatican. I mean, did they do drive-through blessings and shit? Did somebody do that? They had to, right?
They have to. I know. I've heard that they are doing that. Several priests have used water guns for like baby baptisms and whatever. So I guess if you don't have to be fully immersed, you can get you a little squirt gun.
God forbid that baby spend the rest of its life. Did you actually just squirt something at me? I splashed water on my face.
Oh, you splashed?
Yeah.
And it happened to be, I was pointing my finger at you.
Squeezing.
I was like, no, there's no water coming out of my finger. I'm not a true magician.
Yeah.
No, So, this just made me think, when you said, could you do drive-through blessings, there was another story that I saw. I'm just going to go ahead and segue because it fits perfectly.
Go ahead, I'll take a smoke break.
That there was a Florida sports team turned their stadium into an Airbnb.
Ooh.
And I was saying to you,
what else
could be an Airbnb? Can you turn your church into it? You know what I mean? Like the way you describe it, like aromatherapy, if it's the incense.
If it's Catholic.
Some
people don't understand the Catholic experience, which includes lights, kneeling, all kinds of calisthenics.
It is very
smoke,
physical.
Wine, bread. You get a full experience. You're not just coming to church.
No,
you're not putting 2 quarters in the offering plate and then falling asleep and then leaving.
But what I was saying to you is like, have you ever sat when they do the incense? And it's
intense.
It's an intense experience. It most certainly is. I can only imagine the Yelp reviews. It was spacious, but I didn't appreciate the smell.
I mean, I really enjoy frankincense, but did they have to put the myrrh in there too? I don't understand. Yeah, no, it would be horrible. Like, I mean, but the thing of it is, like, let's leave churches alone. Let's move something else. Cause
let's go back to the stadium.
I mean, it's just making me go to a bad place about how they should just let homeless people live there anyway. But I mean, the stadium. It only could be the booths, or like the
big VIP
the boxes.
thing.
Yeah.
What are you gonna do? Get your sleeping bag and just camp out on the turf? I mean, I suppose that would be an option.
Sure, people do that.
Me and 600 of my closest friends would like to rent the stadium.
What would be a bonus of staying in that place? Stadiums there's nothing around them typically, but like looking, you couldn't see the sky. You couldn't see like the stars any better. You know, if there was that kind of option, maybe. I mean, if
you were just somebody who was like seeking a unique experience, you know what I mean? That'd be like, I can just imagine like the old guy, like this one time we stayed at a stadium as our hotel. Like, you know what I mean?
Believe it?
Can you believe that?
Yeah. It was so crazy during the coronavirus.
It's better when you do the voice.
That me and 600 of my friends, we had to stay in the Cincinnati Reds Stadium. I don't even know what the hell it's called, but
yeah. And that's why somebody would do it.
Yeah.
To be able to say
that.
Yeah.
I guess people do have experiences so that they can have experiences.
Bam.
I'm not one of those. I am definitely that kind of person because I am adventurous when it comes to people. I have given homeless people rides places, and it has turned into amazing stories, people. And I just have a heart.
You do. It's funny.
heart.
You talked about giving homeless rides before on another episode, but just recently, so I knew you weren't alone, but nonetheless, recently I was with a friend, and she was telling me about there's a common lady around town.
Wacky Jackie.
I wondered if it was this.
Yeah,
she didn't say it was her, and
it's gotta be Jackie.
I don't know if it was, but she said that she's given her rides multiple times, and she said when she talks to her now, she'll be like, I'm only going to take you one place, so you figure out which place you want to go to the most, because she's trying to get you to take her 3 or 4 places.
Yeah.
She's like, whichever place you want to go to the most, that's what we're doing. You only get one.
Yeah, because she wanted me to go I took her to Kmart, and then she wanted me to wait there and take her to the JCPenney, and that's when I left her at. It's experience. It's an experience for an experience. I'll tell you about another experience.
Okay.
Offline.
Oh, okay.
Sounds good. People think bad of me.
Okay, we don't want that. Now, here's another crazy story. I don't know if I believe it. I don't want to click on it. So, sometimes you're like, you just love a title so good, you don't want to know more because it might ruin the magic.
I mean, that's how all Republicans spread news. But yes, go right ahead, Joy.
India captures spy pigeon. They have spy in quotes, suspected of working for Pakistan. Now, let's politics aside, the idea that somebody could actually still have a carrier pigeon operating in 2020, like you've trained, I assume they must have outfitted, if it's really true, I assume they must have outfitted the pigeon with like listening devices or something, because let's talk. How else? What are we doing? Is it 1536 something?
Right. I mean, is the bird going to come back and type out an entire fucking message in Morse code? I don't think so.
Or squawks for they're planning something.
Or like is transcribing it on tiny pieces of paper that gets put into that little tube that's next to their feet. Their feet don't work like that. Their feet can't hold pencils. And plus then, when you look over and see this like reporter pigeon over here on the ground, like writing things down.
You're like, why has he got a pencil?
But I mean, Pakistan... Go to the map. I mean, listening devices, I guess, I guess things are
they border each other, so it's possible.
Yeah,
right?
I mean, I
It's
guess, like, you could, like, but I'm thinking, like, long distance even more than that. But, like,
oh, okay.
But I guess things now could.
Yeah.
Because, like, there's probably technology that has a voice recorder that has... only so long and the bird's trained to come back. I mean, when can I start this business? I mean, can I do it with squirrels?
If you could do it with squirrels, you'd be in such business here in town.
I feel like the squirrels here are in a better position to be trained for that than the pigeons. We don't have a lot of pigeons per se.
Not per se.
Here.
No,
we don't have
really.
a lot of tall buildings yet. They're coming.
Yeah.
But yeah,
You get you a spy squirrel.
we have
Ooh.
more geese and
Oh yeah, that too. But I don't
and
think they would work
seagulls.
for you. So
no, geese don't work for anybody but Hitler.
wow.
They're horrible. They like hate people. They like hate other. They like actually hate people. Geese.
Well,
It's their thing.
yeah.
So, yeah, because you guys don't live here. You're not from here. But short story is, where we live, squirrels didn't exist.
Right.
They planted a bunch of trees in this area, and then they decided they needed some kind of animal because rabbits weren't doing it for them, apparently. Well, rabbits probably wouldn't be near the swampy ass area we're from anyway, for the most part. Like, anyway. So they brought squirrels here. And these squirrels are a higher level of intelligence than other squirrels that I've in other places I've lived. They will come and bum a cigarette from you. And by bum, I mean like take it out of your pack as you're sitting on the stoop somewhere. They take food from people's hands.
They do. They pose for pictures.
They
Yep.
stand around and they're not scared the fuck of you.
Not really.
Like some other animals will like run, but squirrels here will like wait.
Yeah.
They'll
they let
wait you out.
It's like a game. They let you
Yeah,
get
they're
really
like,
close.
Oh, are you going to your car? Are you coming over to the dumpster? Like, hold on a second.
I'm gonna see
Like,
if you're dropping something.
Yeah, yep. So they got their game down. So that's why I'm saying squirrels over pigeons for me.
Right. Okay.
All right.
That's how you're gonna take over world domination. Spy squirrels.
Squirrels.
Got it.
Squirrels. Okay.
So I think our last it's not just weird, it's actually sick in a way. But apparently a Pennsylvania woman, allegedly, you have to say that for legal reasons.
Oh yeah, that's right. I forgot.
Allegedly.
Like rapists are alleged, all that stuff, right? Okay.
Right. Kept her grandmother's corpse in a freezer for 15 years and kept collecting her Social Security checks.
I mean, no one's seen Grandma for 15 years.
It's got to be one of those, there's no other family. I'm the only surviving.
I guess, but like, old people collect people as they get older.
It's true.
Because they have to talk about, you remember Martha from 1976? She
Right.
died today. Like, they have to have something to talk about other than the weather.
Listen.
So, she had to have more people caring about her. Well,
I
it's just
mean,
me.
you'd like to hope so, but the extreme things that people will go to swindle money, I imagine her like with these recordings, fake recordings she's come up with to sound like her grandmother. She's forging her signature on documents.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're gonna do it, I'm sure she did it all out.
Well, I mean, if it's a federal government thing, was it here in the United States?
Yeah,
Pennsylvania.
Mm-hmm.
If it's anything like the system that they use for unemployment, it's barely made in 1992. I mean, the software is shit. And like once you're on it, once you get it,
yeah.
you just have to like enter a couple things every 2 weeks. So I mean, if it's one of those things, like 15 years now, that would have only been 2005 and we had technology then.
Mm-hmm.
We couldn't order pizza then.
Now, I almost feel like you're so ridiculous. I almost feel like for Social Security, there's like every so many years you have to do paperwork that maybe involves a doctor or something to like verify. I feel like that's something my grandmother's had to do.
Oh.
But again, if you find a doctor with no morals and you pay him off, maybe I should be a criminal in my next life because clearly I can think about how to do some of these. Now, I'm not gonna.
Let's not do things.
Well, I'm not gonna keep a body in my freezer. I'm just saying I could mastermind other crimes. You know what I mean? I would be a great petty criminal.
So what you're saying is, let's start a crime idea network. So if you would like to call us,
right,
and you need a petty crime, maybe a way to get away with it, we will hypothetically talk those conversations with you. But those hypothetical ideas or
misdemeanors is really what I'm about.
I mean, what's a misdemeanor? It's barely a misdemeanor.
It's a Missy Elliott.
It's a Missy.
It's a genius musician. That's what it is.
You could just call in. You now call in your order to pizza place, and you'll be, "This is Tina misdemeanor." Because Joy has a a not fake name.
No,
But-
exactly.
But she has a name that she uses that is not her own
Listen,
when she orders things from places.
sometimes you never know who you might have angered. You don't want to.
You
You want your order left alone, so you got to go in there.
And here
incognito.
In this same scenario, Joy has this fake name. I call about my order, and I say my last name, and they say my first name.
Right.
But they couldn't find my order, but they knew my first name.
They knew your first name.
Oh my god!
It's the spy pigeon.
It's a. This wouldn't happen if we got squirrels. Does Pakistan even have squirrels?
And remember that to be beautiful and natural is the birthright of every woman. And I wish you all loads and loads of loveliness and good luck.